Hi, this is Steve from Engage Systems, and today we're going to look at Salesforce CPQ product fields, specifically related to subscription products and how that affects quoting. So I've created a new product here called Hardware Gold Cover. It's set as a subscription pricing to a fixed price. As soon as you change that field from none to fixed price or percentage of total, then Salesforce will understand the product to be a subscription product and will start to sort of apply subscription time to it. We've got a subscription term here of 12. The unit of measure for this org is months. That's a setting your admin or consultant would change for you, and you'd have that set for the business going forward, and that would either be month or days. So as I say, we've got here a product that's been set up called Hardware Gold Cover with a fixed price and the term of 12 months. So I've created a quote here that has a single line on it at £100, and we're just going to add this hardware cover on. So you can see here we have the gold cover. It's got a list price of £1,000, so that's what's come on the quote. We've got a subscription term for this quote of 24 months, so the price to the customer is 2 sets effectively of 12 months, so total of 2,000. You can see if I change the quantity of print trays and calculate out the quotes, it changes the total price for the trays. It doubles it to £200, but the price of the cover stays the same at £2,000. If I drop the term down back to 1 year, you can see that drops down to £1,000. So that's the simplest sort of subscription product you can have, where the price is fixed. If we then have a look at the silver cover, which I've set up previously here, you can see rather than having a fixed price, we have a price of the percentage of total, and that's very simply set to 10% of the total of the products on the quote and 10% of the list price of the products on the quote. So if we add that on, so I'm just going to delete off this gold cover, just to make it a bit clearer what we're looking at. So we have silver cover, and it is 10% of the list price, which is £100, and there's 2 of the units, so it's, if we calculate that out, it's 10% of the 2 units, so £20. If I take that down to 1, just to make it even clearer, I've got 1 year's worth, 10% of the list price. So if I add a discount here of 10%, calculate, you can see the price is falling to the customer for units, but that cover is staying the same because it's based on the list price. Now you can also have it based on the net price to the customer. So I've set up a different cover level here called bronze. It's still set as percentage of total, and it's still set as £10, but it's based on the customer price, not the list price. So if we add that onto the quote, you can see the difference. so you can see here that even though it's set to 10%, it's 10% of the net unit price, so £9 rather than the silver cover, which is 10% of the list price, which is £100. So if I was to change this discount to 20% and recalculate, you'll see the unit price has dropped to 80 and the total dropped to £8. Now the other thing that you can do to control your percentage of totals is you can base it on a category of products, or you can exclude certain categories. You can set individual products to be included in percentage of totals regardless of their category, or excluded from percentage of total regardless of their category. By default, all fixed-term subscription products will be excluded from percentage of total category. But what I've done here is told it to include hardware-only products, and I've set up two products, both called cables, one of which has a percentage of total category of hardware, and one of which has a percentage of total category unset. So I'm going to add on this hardware blue. And again, I'm just going to remove these lines that we're no longer looking at. The system will quite happily calculate out with multiple subscription lines, and much more complicated, but it just makes it a little bit easier to see what's going on. Okay, so here we've got the bronze cover. So that's looking at the price for our cables. I'll move it down, make it easier to see. So we've got our cables here. If we do 10 of them, so now that's calculated the 10, we can see what we have here is a hardware bronze cover, which is taking the total of the unit costs, which is £10 and £2 for the two different lines, so that's £12, and it's calculating out 10% of that at £1.20. Now the hardware blue cover, if we have a look at that again, is only basing the percent of total on the hardware category, which in this case is the cables as hardware, so is the 10 of at £1, £10, and 10% of that is £1. So if I up the cables as a consumable to quantity 100, calculate that, just to make it even more apparent, you can see, so now we've got a total of £210 for the two lines. The bronze cover, 10% of the 210, £21. The blue cover, which is only picking up the cable as hardware, 10% of £10, £1. So when parts are being set up, you can set the percent of total category. You can use the include in percent of total or exclude percent of total, so you can standardize on certain product groupings, and then you can have exceptions within those product groups that you would want to include or exclude. And the default is that any fixed price subscription items would not be included in the percent of total. It is assumed by default that you wouldn't want those, but if you do, you can override that setting. So it depends on what you're offering as your subscription and how that would apply to you. You can see it's very powerful what we can do with the settings here. And then from a usability point of view, once that's been set up, once you understand how it's working for your business case, you can make adjustments to your quote very easily, and that will pull through all that information.